The ideas are coming to life. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Apache Halloween YouTube channel, and in today's haunt build video, we will be starting to build our Tesla coils out of real wood. So if these things look familiar to you, that's probably because they are familiar from last year's Spirit Halloween front ISE display, where they were made out of cardboard. Well, last year we bought them mainly for the lights and stuff, but we just had no time to really build them out of wood, which is what we wanted to do, which is what you're seeing right here. So this is basically the exact same Tesla coil that you see from the Spirit Halloween display. It's all basically copied one for one, and it's a complete recreation of it, only this time it's out of wood. So we have both of them built here. They're just stapled together, and then there's some inner pieces of wood. So we have just little inner bracings of wood here, and then a circular cutout for the light tube to go in. But the next problem at hand is painting them. So I don't really know exactly what I want to do. I want to try and replicate the original patterning, but I also want it to look more metallic and more like metal rather than cardboard. And I want to add some moss and some rust, just a little bit of rust. So that's going to be the first segment of this video. We are going to paint this, and it should be in a time lapse basically, and I'm going to bring you along in the process that I take. It's going to be a lot of trial and error, but hopefully we come up with something that I like. And to be honest with you, I don't really even know what I want yet. So I'm probably just going to do one panel, experiment, and then complete the rest of the panels. Oh, and I wanted to show you this. So I made this off camera a couple days ago. It's a Spirit Halloween weapon piece that I got at the 50% off sale last year, and it looked cool, but it looked a little cardboard and cheesy. Not cardboard, but this is like a foam material, and it just looked kind of fake. So I took it upon myself to make it look a little more metal-like. It's got rust on it, rust stains going down, and then the blood right there. And then I repainted the wood. I restained it, or gave it a wash of some browns and blacks. So I'm pretty happy with how it turned out, and I just wanted to show you guys it. But without further ado, let's get into the time lapse of these Tesla coil paint jobs. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is coat the Tesla towers with another coat of white paint. The first coat that you see is actually just a primer to protect the wood, because these are going to be outside most likely, and they will probably get rained on a little bit. So we want to make sure that the wood is sealed the best we can possibly get it. So now this is just some white paint, like I said. So I'm adding this layer of white paint just to help protect the wood again. After the towers were covered in a coat of white paint, I went and sponged on some acrylic silver paint that I've had for like 10 years now. And its job is to make it look like the towers are made out of metal. Now, I could have probably spray painted the towers the silver, which I did end up doing for the interior part, because you did not want to see the white on the inside, but then the silver on the outside. But for the outside, I did want some of the white to actually show through, because I think it makes it look more believable for it to be metal. And then here I start to airbrush some black paint, and it's speckling on so it looks like some texture to the tower. So that gives it some more metal flaking look to it. And then here I'm starting to hit the towers with some rust color. So what I'm doing is I'm spraying a large amount of rust at the top, and then I slowly start to bring the rust color down to make it look like it is getting wet over time, and the rust stain is just falling down with gravity like it would in real life. So I don't know how well you can hear me right now because of this fan. It's really hot here in Illinois. It's like 100 degrees out, so I'm really just trying to get this stuff done, and it's constantly having to go back outside and come inside. It's just kind of annoying. So this right here is the bases for the Tesla coils. The Tesla coils are done. I'm really pleased with how they turned out. Or it's basically done, but all the rust, I really love the rust. There's two different colors there. It looks really good. I am really pleased with how those turned out. And then you can see some moss, some green hues in the metal as well. But the next thing are these bases. So the Tesla coils are going to mount on top of here. So the thing with these is that the originals from last year's ISE, the bases were black. So I'm just going to paint them black with this interior paint. It should be fine, I mean, I'm going to put a clear coat over it, and there's going to be more layers of paint on top of this, and there's already the primer on the bottom. I think it should be okay. I guess this is a perfect test to see. So I'm just going to do that. I'm not going to bother time-lapsing because I'm just painting it black, so nothing too crazy is going on. Okay, so this is where we are right now. I do apologize for not actually like time-lapsing every single thing, but a lot of it is me just painting it, and I don't really think a lot of you really would want to see that because it's basically just duplicating what we've done here. So these bottom pieces are done, or close to being done. We still have to put the little square in. This right here is the original cardboard piece. You can see there's this square. We just have to put those squares in, and then that should be good. And for what we did for the copper wiring, if you could see that, what we did is we took some rope from Harbor Freight and painted it a copper color. All right, so these bad boys are pretty much done. I'm pretty happy with how they turned out. I love the rust that I put on them and the moss. I'm really pleased with it. And they are actually a little taller than the original cardboard ones, so they look more dominant and menacing, which is really nice. And then what we plan to do is we plan to take some strip lights and run them around the bottom there to light up the coils to make just some more lighting, basically. And we're going to probably use white strip lights because I really wanted it to be able to like go between the blue and the green, but I don't know how we would do that. So we're just going to do white, which is just a neutral color, and it would just, I think, complete the whole look for it. But these are all complete, so I do want to show you guys them at night, but I have some other things that I got to do. So over here, oh look, it's all messy again. Here I have these 4-way remote relays. Now, I saw something very similar at the Midwest Haunters Convention back in June. I believe they were made by Fright Props, and they were asking a big amount of money, I think, for them. So I went online and I was looking around, and I was able to find these things. And this was like $16, $17 here. It's supposed to run off of 12 volts, but it works perfectly fine with a 9-volt battery. And you get two, not one, two remotes here. And these will trigger your animatronics with ease. So I will go deeper into it when I come around to actually like wiring it up. And that probably won't be until like a later installment of a haunt build video. But for now, I'm just like prototyping and playing around with all the modes and stuff. My biggest fear was that these things would be running at different, like the same megahertz as like, for say, these guys right here from Spirit. These are the Spirit wireless remote things. My fear was that if I were to press like A on this, it would trigger A on that. But it doesn't seem to be having that problem, so we should all be set to go. And I ordered a couple more with some different ranges of frequencies. So hopefully none of them will interfere with each other. But I just want to show you, it's very simple actually. Just turn that on, you see the light went on. And I'll just press any button. I don't know if you can hear that, but there's a relay that's clicking on. And that's all you need in order to trigger an animatronic. So this would be wired centrally in a location, and then I'd run a bunch of wires, like 2 to each animatronic, basically. So that's going to really be the next step when it comes to making these things, because that's going to be the difficult part, because there's going to be a bunch of wires running all over the place. But I think in the long run, just having remotes being able to trigger on command whenever you want, I just like that idea a lot more. So that's what I'm going to probably go with. I also still have the timers and stuff, but those are for more background props. These are more for centralized things. So here are the Tesla coils all completed. I'm really happy with how these turned out, and I really like how the lights on the bottom here. Now this one is having problems where it keeps falling down, which is really annoying. We just put these back up, but only this one is the one that falls down. The other one is fine, which is really interesting, but I'm really happy with how the paintwork turned out. You probably won't even like notice this stuff on Halloween night, if I'm being honest with you, all the rust and moss. But I know it's there, so that's what makes me the happiest. So overall, I'm very happy with how these turned out. And they will be a great addition to the lab, and they will be able to resist the weather a lot better than that old cardboard. So that about does it for this video for the Haunt build, the 3rd installment. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.